Hey everyone, how are you all doing? My name is Deborah and I have received a lot of requests about this. And before I start, I just want to say something because I've noticed it, alright? And that is request. If you want to request a Mica or whoever's reaction, please do not leave that on my comments page. X for other reactions, leave it on my Mica reactions or leave it on my discussion page, preferably on my discussion page, just because I feel it's rude to the artist that I'm reacting to. Not like they'll ever see my reaction, but yeah, I just feel it's rude to the artist and disrespectful to the artist to leave a reaction to another artist on that artist's page. So if you want to request a Mica reaction, and a few of you did that, so if you want to request a Mica reaction, please leave it on my Mica reaction page or on my discussion page. I would prefer you leave it on my discussion page just so I don't get lost and in comments and I miss it. But yeah, that's something I just wanted to put out there. All right, so let's react to Mica. I had to pause that. I'm so sorry. It was so bad. I had to pause that. Wait, hold on. Okay, better audio quality. I'm like, that was really bad. Hold on. This is better.
자, 지금 시작해 조금씩 뜨겁게 웃으려 하지마 펼쳐진 눈앞에 저 태양이 길을 비춰 절대 멈추지 마
Ooh, she lost it. But it was still good. Woo! Did y'all hear that note? Did y'all hear that note? Let's see the comments. Alright, so let's go to what I thought as a whole of this performance. So first of all, I felt they were okay, this is not Mica's best performance. I'm sorry to anyone who feels this is their best performance, but I think otherwise. I actually prefer the last reaction that I did to their video to this one, their last performance to this one, just because there was so many inconsistencies, or rather mistakes to this, and Almira wasn't even my point of focus, surprisingly, and that was kind of a good thing, and I'll tell you why later in this reaction. Alright, first of all, you could see that when they were hitting high notes, Almira had a problem with stabilizing her voice and hitting the note, and there were times, which I'm gonna show you, she diverted and went away from the notes and she couldn't hit the note before she finally came back to the note. It was like she's going on a trip and you're meant to go straight, and then you divert and then you go straight again. So that was what happened, and you could hear me. I also commented about it. I'm like, oh shoot, she missed it. I think I said something like that though in my reaction. But yeah, there were parts where she was going and then she missed it. Her voice wasn't stabilized enough, her voice wasn't stable enough, and even the harmonization, shockingly, for the first time ever, I had inconsistencies with the harmonization. I had shakiness, and I think maybe it has to do with them being nervous, and Almira's notes, I think, has to do with her being nervous, and also the fact that these are really high notes that are not easy to hit, except you've been really trained and tamed on how to handle your notes and your voice on those levels. And I feel that that's something that maybe she hasn't been trained on, and hence if you noticed my first reaction on them, I talked about their stability, and I think that came back as and beat her kind of, but not in a bad way, in that they were eliminated, but beat her in this what's it called, it beat her in this performance because it affected her. The stability made her lose her note before she could regain herself again. So I really pray that someone out there takes Almira and really train her notes and trains her voice and tames her voice so she knows how to stabilize it. But the person that actually, or the people that actually caught my attention this time, were her sisters, especially the one with the name Didi on it and the one with the quotes. They really caught my attention. They have really unique voices. Like the remaining three have unique voices, and I love how in this rendition I could hear them standing out. Their voices are uniquely different and their voices stood out. So I wasn't even paying attention to Almira that much, and Almira didn't wow me this time. It was them, the sisters, that actually wowed me this time. I don't know, I was so happy to hear their voices, because normally I focus so much on Almira and I focus on their harmony that it's like I almost don't hear their voice as singular people and not a collective group. But this performance allowed me to also hear the voices of the sisters and also realize that they all have uniquely different voices, and they're not just good in harmonization, but also they're uniquely gifted in their own ways. And there's something just so special about this voice. I'm gonna play the sisters' voice.
지금 시작해 조금씩
There's just something different and special about her voice that I really like. But yeah, like the first audio I had to like stop it because it was so bad, and then listen to I checked the comments and then I saw that it was better quality, and so I listened to that one. And I have to say, this is not Mica's best performance. actually, amongst all the performances they've given, especially the last one that I listened to, the last one was better than this one. This Almira, I think maybe because it was such a high note, maybe she hasn't trained enough on that and stuff, but her voice was shaky at times, and there were times she lost the rhythm, the note, and so those were like slight things that I had a problem with. And apart from the inconsistencies, like the judge said, there was a part where they were singing in English, the Maria, that was when you start getting hyped. So I feel that the whole language thing also had to do with the performance and how they performed. So maybe that's why it was more active and more enjoyable in the Maria part, because it's English, Maria, or not really English, Roman or something like that. But yeah, you get my point. So I think that's probably why I enjoyed that part more, and then I should have enjoyed the high notes and the harmonization and all that. But apart from that, I think it was a good performance, but they really need someone to help them out with stability, especially Almira. I don't know if they have a vocal trainer or something, or if she can do it on her own, but she really needs to learn how to stabilize her voice, especially with high notes. Maybe she was just nervous. I don't really know what it was in this performance, because I've seen her do high notes and she did it well. And like the last reaction I did with Mica, she was really stable compared to other other videos that I've watched of hers. But in this, it was like she went down a notch. Maybe it was just too high for her. I think that's probably it. The note was too high and it was a note she wasn't used to. So even though she likes the song, her nerves were affected. So the level of how high the note was and her nerves intertwined and then caused her voice to be shaky. I think that was the problem with Mica's voice in this. But yeah, with Almira's voice in this. But yeah, they still put up a great performance and it was really energized, and you could see that they were having fun on stage, even though they were nervous, but you could also see that they were having fun on stage. At least they did have fun towards the end, and I noticed that. So that's really good, and that made me have fun too towards the end. But yeah, I think this was a good performance, but I really hope they work on that stability, and I really hope that if they're gonna do more, like a lot of high notes, because this had a whole lot of high notes and a whole lot of runs, if they're gonna do that, then they get trained for that, so they stabilize it so it doesn't bite them in their further performances. Because if they're gonna keep doing this, like I've noticed that they always use Almira's like high notes and then the harmonization and all that. So if they're gonna keep pushing out high notes, then they really need to train on how to stabilize their high notes. If not, then they should tone the high notes down a little bit. It's like I said before, there are times when the high notes are not necessary, and then there are times when it's necessary, and then they bring it in sometimes when it's not necessary, and I'm like, oh, you didn't really have to bring that in. So yeah, I really hope that the next time they wow me for the stability of their voices. But right now it was actually the sisters that wowed me, and I hope Almira works on that, so next time she wows me with the stability of her voice. She really has a good voice, but she just needs to be trained on how to handle it. And I feel the sky, that is it. Once they just train her on that and work on the sisters too, that is it. So I hope that towards their next performance I get to see the improvements and how they've improved. But yeah, I loved this performance for my being able to see the sisters finally as individual, is it entities or people, I'd say. But yeah, let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. Don't forget to give this video a like, don't forget to share, subscribe, and keep being the awesome beautiful people you are. From me to you, you know I've got some love for you. Peace.